Then. Well, hello. I am RadioHupfen, and this is STRAFE, Millennium Edition. And we are going to be doing actually a seeded run of this game. It's what I'm submitting for marathon purposes. So STRAFE is, as you can tell, a bit retro-styled. This is a roguelike first-person shooter. A lot of inspiration from Doom, Unreal, Quake. We're kind of bunny hopping about. A bit of structural inspiration from Spelunky as well. And that also manifests in terms of we're going to be going through the game. We are not going to be killing everything. Some levels we kill basically nothing. Just because that's the fastest way to do it, and the game allows us to do that. It's not like Gungeon or Isaac, where you're locked in a room. We get to flow pretty freely. Now, we're running on the Millennium Edition. This is version 1.2, and this is one of the reasons. The Millennium Edition, for one, it fixed a lot of bugs. So it's very welcome for that, but it also added all these mutators. And these are ultimately what makes speedrunning possible. This locked seed is particularly among them. It's a locked seed. So this removes a lot of risk and variation when it comes to speedrunning this game, making it very marathon safe, along with traditional mode, where we get multiple lives. So even if things go south and we die, and we do play kind of risky with health at points, we'll be able to respawn, we'll be able to keep going. You do lose your overheal, but we're not super concerned about that. Fortunately, you do not lose your machine gun, which we are taking mainly because of some weapon modifications that you can get throughout the game. This has one in particular that is going to make the second zone, the Black Canyon, very fast. Or at least faster. So, time starts when we hop into the teleporter. There'll be a short cutscene, since it has to load the locked seed, and then we're off. The times that we have above me is actually my PB, and that is real time. I don't expect to match that, but I have been consistently getting runs in the 14 to 16 real-time range, so I think we can expect something like that. I'll probably put the estimate at like 19 just in case things go bad. But, 15 real-time, 10 in-game is a pretty solid run. And we should start that run. So 3, 2, 1, go. And we're going to start off in what I like to call the reset room. This seed has a very nice beginning that our shotgun wielder right here can occasionally ruin. So we get him taken care of somewhat passively. That grenade hits. And this fine fella, the wandering merchant, he was quite happy. He gave us a gift. The gift is thrusters. Thrusters are what make this game's speedrun. For one, thrusters help you go fast. And so as we're going through the Icarus, the first zone, we're just going to be using it for that purpose. Mostly to go fast, but when you are thrusting, you are invulnerable. You cannot be harmed when you're in mid-thrust. So what happens if you're thrusting and something is in your way? Well, that something is what gets killed. So we come over here, grab this key card. Oop. Took a little bit of a fall. But you can see right there, we're using thrusters to line up enemies and then just wreck them one fell swoop. So we're going to come over here, deposit that gun, and use our thrusters to kind of clean house as we get the modifier. There we go. So this is the tri-shot. It's very nice and powerful. These guys are not cooperating, unfortunately. There we go. Shop's open. Let's rob it. This game uses two kinds of currency, as it were. Scrap and credits. Now, scrap we are picking up, like right now. It's in bins, enemies drop it, and that is used for crafting. You always get a scrap bin at the end of the level if you beat the par time. Those go 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes for the levels of each zone. The par times are a funny joke to us because, as you can see, we are completing many levels in or under a minute. So that's kind of whatever. And we come down there to grab that gun real quick. Like I said, we play a little tight on health. We're also playing a little tight on that hitbox. So that's what we just picked up, that laser, and for some reason it didn't give us the double jump height that we wanted. You can do a little skip there, saves like a second or two. But yeah, that level, the par time is 5 minutes. We got through it in 52 seconds, and that was a little slow. But that's another thing this laser can do, what I just did there. We're in the Black Canyon now. This thing moves kind of fast. And the Black Canyon is beset by rock slides. They're everywhere. Specifically, there's one in the Black Canyon 1 and in the Black Canyon 3 that we have to clear. Fortunately, the plasma laser is very strong. Normally what you're supposed to do is go into a crashed ship that litters the level, rip out an energy core, carry it to the rock slide, slap it on that, and then stand back and watch it explode. All that takes time. We ain't got time. So we just shoot it. Black Canyon 2, where we are right now, much faster, much smoother run through. So what we do is just run straight to this exit door, run back. That baits the enemies, that kind of tricks them into following you. And then once we hear the music change, which may not be audible on this video, I have the game audio maybe a little quiet, but we hear the music essentially drop out, and that means that the game has decided that the door is safe. See, what you're supposed to do is, you know, get in there, kill everything, and then, you know, that clears out the area, everything's safe, good to go. And the way it decides that is by checking to see, are the enemies that started here still here and alive? Once the answer is no, we carry on. Fortunately, it checks, are they here, before it checks, are they alive? So we can just pull them away. So now we have entered the burbs. This is more of a urbanized kind of area. A lot of power management going on, you know, you gotta keep your subterranean village fueled, as it were. There we go. Kind of had a reverse audio cue on that one. So what we do on these stages, we find the power cores, or we find the fuses rather, shove them into the fuse box, reactivate the gate. That's our midway checkpoint, and then come back here and take some public transit. We use the same principle of just baiting the enemies away from the door until it opens up. Now, one thing you may have noticed as we were going through the Black Canyon, and very quickly, was that we were using a crafting bench. That's what the scrap that we gather is used for. That got us armor. Whoop, that got us stuck. There we go. These are in slightly precarious positions. Those got us armor, and they can get you ammo if you need it. We generally don't. I landed on a light post. We use only the Black Canyon ones, hopefully, only the Black Canyon ones, because once you're in these safe zones, these level transitions, time, in terms of in-game time, stops. So we can use those benches without affecting our runtime. Every level does have a bench. It also has one of those food dispensers. You have to hunt them down. In the Black Canyon, they're always in those between zones, so that's a good time to heal up. And boy, do we need it, because the first level of the burbs, we pretty much always lose all our shield for various reasons. That one has a lot of tight corridors on this seed. Now, you notice things are a bit dark. This is a glitch that will affect our runtime, not our run completion, but it will make things a little trickier. So what happened on the last floor was basically the residents were like, oh crap, the scrappers here, we need to stop them, cut power. That's their strategy. So by the level design, you have to go hit the power station and restore power. It's like you show up and then after a moment the place goes dark. They're like, okay, we gotta go deal with that. The thing is, if you do it not necessarily fast enough, but with the right timing, when you go to turn the lights back on is when the lights are actually going down, and you hit a little glitch with the lighting script and things go really dark. So that's what we just saw. That level is not supposed to be that dark, but if you're fast, you do that, and you learn to deal. So you saw me kind of jittering around very rapidly. I found myself a little lost in position on that one. But it settles once we get to Athena, which is the last zone of the game. Now, this is why we need the thrusters. This level right here. In fact, that door. This level segments by using those red force fields. And the way you're supposed to do it is kill all the enemies in the room right before it. You can't bait them away, you have to kill them. And then the force field deactivates. Or you can like stand there, hold it to override. That's slow. Now, remember what I said about thrusters making you invulnerable? Well, you could just thrust right through them. And they can't hurt you. So we take what is basically the hardest zone in the game. I will absolutely argue that Athena is the toughest. The enemies are very tanky, very strong. You're probably strong, you're probably picking up a lot of stuff, but even then, you may be weak on health. Maybe losing it faster than you're regaining it. We just skip it entirely. For all intents and purposes, we don't do Athena. Those spider mech things, very dangerous. And we basically never see them. There we go. Gotta be careful not to destroy those terminals. On the Icarus, destroying the terminal makes the door open faster. In Athena, destroying the terminal makes the door open slow. Little tricks. Anyway, we made sure to grab this gun earlier. And you're going to see why. Because if you thought... Oh, come on. There we go. There's a boss fight down there. It's happening. And really, we want no part in it. So we just run away. And we return to our starting ship, which has been invaded, and take it home. So what just happened there? Because I went through that very fast. The way the boss fight is supposed to work and look, there are little like bullet hell turrets come like shoot missiles and stuff at you, and then a swarm of gluttons and various enemies, gluttons being like the grunts of the game. They all just kind of drop in and swarm you, and then like blood floods in. Like it gets pretty nasty and pretty chaotic. But for those enemies and that blood to flow in, there are chutes, like the one that we drop into when we drop into the arena. Those are kind of lacking in collision. So we are able to just use the blaster to do kind of a wall jump, which is an intended mechanism. We use that to get through the chute, out of bounds, and drop back in behind the boss. And we just skip it entirely. That trick saves about, on an average run, 3 minutes. It's essential. And that's Strafe, Millennium Edition. I'm gonna let the credits roll. Trying to think what else I want to mention about this game. I do intend to submit a donation incentive to run one of the secret games in this. Every level has at least one secret game, including the pre-run level. It has a secret game called Totino's Quest, and it is pretty much exactly what you think it is, except it's actually more complex. And if requested, I can put together a video of that as well. I'll leave it off this one just for, compactness sake and all that. I'll also ask the developers to clean up the language here, if need be. But that can be a nice 7 or 8 minute donation incentive. It's a little goofy. It's actually another roguelike. It is procedurally generated, it is permadeath. And it's just kind of a fun little thing if we want to add that in. We can't really do a donation incentive for weapon choice or anything like that, because we kind of need the machine gun. So that was a 9-minute 4-second run. As you can see, that's a PB. That might have looked a little sloppy and a little sketchy, and it was at some points. But but hey, there you go. The world record officially is, let me double check, 8 minutes 35 seconds. I do not hold that time. That time is also not video verified, to the best of my knowledge. Really, you just need this screen, but whatever. This, I believe, is the fastest video verified time that I know of. I could be wrong on that, but either way, that's pretty fast. Again, that's a PB, which I did not expect to get tonight. But yeah, that is Strafe Millennium Edition. I will naturally go for any other questions, any other clarifications that are warranted. Hopefully I kind of explained what was going on well enough, but it is a fast run. So there's not a lot of time to explain things. If I were to run this at GDQ Express, I would really strive to get the developers to show up. They are based in California. And either way, the couch would be doing most of the commentating because I wouldn't have the time. I mean, this is, again, 13:41 real time. This is a pretty short run. So hey, pretty easy to squeeze it into a schedule. Yeah, that is it. I don't really know how to how to close this out other than to say thank you for watching, thank you for considering this game, and yeah, I don't know how to end these videos, so I'll just stop talking.